Hello guys, my name is Eugene Manusan from BSIT2C. I'm reporting about data communication. So let's start. What is data communication? 5 characteristics of the effective communication. 3 fundamental characteristics of data communication. Components of data communication like the data representation. Data communication is the exchange of data between two devices via some form of transmission medium. For example, a common example of data communication is a computer connected to the internet via Wi-Fi connection, which uses a wireless medium to send and receive data from one or more remote servers. And this is the example of data communication. Five characteristics of effective communication. It uses the same transmission medium and language. A transmission medium is something that can mediate the propagation of signal. For the purposes of telecommunication, signals are typically imposed on a wave of some kind suitable for the chosen medium. For example, data can modulate sound, and transmission medium sound may be air, but solid and liquid may also act as the transmission medium. Direct and indirect communication. Direct communication happens when a speaker through intentions are communicated in his or her verbal message. It expresses the speaker sender's needs and desires explicitly. When a direct communicator wants or needs something, he or she will come right out and say it. Direct communicator take the other speaker words the face value. They will not analyze the message for underlying meaning. They value the effectiveness. In short, direct and expect and respect honestly frankness. Mutual understanding. The two-way process of reaching mutual understanding in which participants not only exchange information, news, ideas, and feelings, but also create and share meaning. In communication is means of connecting people. 4. Continuous process. The process of communication starts with the sender encoding the idea and sending it to the receiver via a medium or channel. The receiver's job is to decode the encoded message and extract information from it, and also understand the message. Use of words as well as a symbol. Augmentative and alternative communication, or ATC. Users can use communication of both symbols or text for communication. There are often an assumption that an ATC user should transition to text-based ATC as their literacy skills develop. On the other hand, symbols-based ATC uses a graphic image to represent the whole word. Delivery. The system must deliver data to the correct destination. The data must be received by the intended device or user, and only by the device or user. In the case of video and audio, timely delivery means delivering data as they are produced in the same order that they are produced and without significant delay. Next, 3 fundamental characteristics of data communication. accuracy, the system must deliver data accurately. The data communication system must deliver data to the receiver without being altered or damaged. The receiver should receive the exact same data which one sent by the sender. The protocol might require to alter the sent data to protect, optimize the process. However, protocol should also reverse restore the data back to its original form before representing it to the receiver. The accuracy must be maintained. Timeliness. The system must deliver data in timely manner. The system must maintain timeliness. It must deliver data in timely manner. Deliver can make the data useless to the receiver. Data must be delivered as they are produced. In the other, they are produced and without significant delay. Components of data communication. Message. It is the information data to be communicated. Popular forms of information include text, numbers, picture, audio, and video. Sender. It is the devices that send data message. The sender is the device that send data message. It can be computer, workstation, telephone, handset, video, camera, and so on. Receiver. It is device that receive the message. The receiver. It is the device that receive the message. It can be a computer, workstation, telephone, handset, television, and so on. Medium. It is the physical path by which message travel from sender to receiver. Transmission medium, the physical path by which message travels from sender to receiver. Some examples of transmission media include twisted pair wire, coaxial cable, fiber optic cable, and radio waves. Protocol is a set of rules govern data communication. It represents an agreement between the communicating devices. Without a protocol, two devices may connected but not communicating, just as a person speaking French cannot be understood by a person who speaks only Japanese. Data representation. Text. ASC acronym sample short for American Standard Code for Information Inter-Exchange. ASC2 is a standard that assigns letters, number, and other characters in the 256 slot available in the 8-bit code. ASC2, abbreviation from American Standard Code for Information Interchange. It is a character encoding standard for electronic communication. AS2 codes represent text in computers, telecommunication equipment, and other devices. Unicode. Unicode is a universal character encoding standard that assigns a code to every character and symbols in every language in the world. Since no other encoding standard supporting all languages, Unicode is the only encoding standard that ensures that you can retrieve a combined data using any combination of language. ISO image is a term commonly associated with CD and DVD burning. An ISO image or ISO file is a computer file that is an exact copy of existing file system. An ISO can contain the entire content of CD-ROM, disk, or CD. Numbers that can be used arithmetic operations. Digital devices represent numeric data using binary number system, also called base. Image data are raster stored in a rectangular matrix of rows and columns. Radiometric resolution determines how many gradation of brightness can be stored for each cell pixel in matrix 8-bit resolution, where each pixel contains an integer value from 0 to 255 is most common. Audio. Computer works in a binary. All data must be converted into binary in order for a computer to process it. Sound is no exception to do this. Sound is captured usually by a microphone and then converted into digital signal. Video. Generally, in video processing, video frames are usually represented as a matrix. In our method, we use the luminance information to keep the data in every single frame with a vector structure. By downsampling, each frame can be further represented as a point in a space of smaller dimension. Data flow. In communication means how data transfer between devices. Communication means the transfer exchange of data between two different devices. In communication process, whenever data transferred in depends on the condition or depends on devices that through which type data will transfer. And this is the example. Simplex communication is unidirectional. Simplex is the data transmission mode in which data can flow only in one direction, i.e. communication. Unidirectional, for example, radio, TV transmission, keyboard, mouse, and etc. Half duplex. Each station can both transmit and receive but not at the same time. In half or semi-duplex system, both parties can communicate with each other but not simultaneously. The communication is one directional at a time. An example of half-duplex devices is walkie-talkie, a two radio that has push-to-talk button in devices. The communication is only one direction. So, ito po yun, yung walkie-talkie. Full duplex. Both stations can transmit and receive simultaneously. An example of a full duplex device is plain old telephone service. The parties at both ends of the call can speak and be heard by the other party simultaneously. In a half duplex or semi-duplex, both parties can communicate with each other but not simultaneously. The communication is one direction at a time. Network criteria performance can be measured in many ways. Transit time, it is the amount of time required for a message to travel from one device to another. Response time, it is the elapsed time between an inquiry and response. Performance of the network depends on many factors such as numbers of users, types of transmission medium, capabilities of the hardware, and efficiency of the software. Let's example the performance. Categories of network. Network is categories with the following factors type. This can refer to different parameters. Most often, it refers to the number of nodes on the network. A node is a device that attaches to the network, such as printer, router, computer, whether desktop or laptop, tablet, smart TV, etc. Ownership. Network ownership refers to the player that simulating a part physics. For example, if a player 1 has network ownership over their character, all physics simulation of their own character is done on their own machine. Programmers can set network ownership through set network owner API. Instance is covered. For any two locations in a spatial network, their network distance is the length of the shortest pathway between these two locations along the network. The shortest path is computed based on the travel weight, such as travel distance or travel time of network edges. Physical architecture. The network architecture combining physical and logical components when the computers are connected. We must use a network architecture which is the combination of all physical and logical components. Local area network. A local area network is or LAN is a collection of devices connected together in one physical location, such as a building, office, or home. And this as the example of LAN. Yung LAN is yung cable na kinakabit sa likod ng router. Pwede siya sa laptop, iba sa sa Wi-Fi. For computer, yung madalas ginagamit ng computer is yung LAN cable. Next is the Metropolitan Area Network, or short MAN. A Metropolitan Area Network, or MAN, is a computer network that connects computer with metropolitan area, which could be a single large city, multiple cities and towns, or any given large area, multiple buildings. So ito ang example ng metropolitan or a MAN. Ito po yung internet service provider, tapos then internet service provider siya na yung nagdi-distribute ng mga internet ng mga kunyari houses, mga buildings yun. Tapos si IS tapos syempre kumukuha din siya ng internet sa malaking network. Wide area network or a WAN. A wide area network is also known as WAN is a large network information that is not tied to a single location. Once can facilitate communication, the sharing of information, and much more between devices from around the world through a one provider. And this is the example of one. Next, categories: size, ownership, distance, architectural, and land. Size: building or campus. Ownership: privately owned. Distance: few kilometers. The architecture: bus, star, screen, sample, laboratory. Man: city, public, company, extend over entire city. Land to land, cable network. 1. Smart, private or public, extend over entire smart. Man to internet. Man to man, sample, internet. Network. A network consists of two or more computers that are linked in order to share resources such as printer and CDs, exchange files, or allow electronic communication. The computer and network may be linked through cables, telephone lines, radio waves, satellites, or infrared light beam. And this is the example. Mid-1960s standalone devices. The history of computing hardware starting 1960 is marked by conversion from vacuum tube to solid-state devices such as transistor and then integrated circuit or IC chips. Around 1953 to 1959, discrete transistors started being considered sufficiently reliable and economical that they made further vacuum tube computers uncompetitive. ARPA, or Advanced Research Project Agency, ARPANET in a full Advanced Research Project Agency network experiment computers that was forerunner of the Internet. The Advanced Research Project Agency ARPA, an arm of the U.S. Defense Department, funded development of the Advanced Research Project Agency Network, or ARPANET, in the late 90s. DoD, or the Department of Defense. The United States Department of Defense, DoD, US DoD, or DoD, is an executive branch department of the federal government charged with coordinating and supervising all agencies and functions of the government directly repeated to national security. 1967, ACM, or Association for Computing Machinery. MITI, the Association Computing Machinery, or ACM, is a US-based international learned society for computing. It was founded in 1947 and is the world's largest scientific educational computing society. ARPA, or ARPANET, the Advanced Research Project Agency Network. ARPANET was the first area packet switching network with distributed control and one of the first networks to implement TCP/IP protocol suite. Both technologies became the technical foundation of the Internet. IMP, or Interface Message Processor. The Interface Message Processor (IMP) was the packet switching node used to interconnect participants' network to the ARPANET from the late 1960s to 1989. It was the first generation gateway which are known today as distributed. In 1969 ARPANET reality for nodes, University of California, Los Angeles, or shortly UCLA, University of California, Santa Barbara, or UCSB, Standard Research Institute, University of Utah, NCT Network Control Protocol. 40 years ago, on December 5, 1969, the U.S. Defense the Advanced Research Project Agency ARPA connected for computer network nodes at the University of California, Los Angeles, UCLA, the Standard Research Institute, SIRI, the Menlo Park College, UC Santa Barbara, and University Utah Sigma 7 nodes next to the circle depicting the UCLA nodes refers the Sigma Computers UCLA Network Measurement Center Vint serve connected to ARPANET. 1972 Vint Cerf and Bob Kahn Interneting Project. During the International Computer Communication Conference in the fall of 1972, he was working at the Information Processing Techniques Office, or in short, IPTO. Within RPA, Kahn then demonstrated the ARPANET by connecting 20 different computers. This was described as the water event that made people suddenly realize that packet switching was real technology. Transmission Control Protocol, TCP. The Transmission Protocol TCP is the one protocol of Internet Protocol Suite. It originated in the initial network implementation, in which it complemented the protocol or IP for the inter-suite, commonly referred to as TCP/IP. TCP provides reliable, ordered, and error-check delivery of a stream of context bytes between applications running on host communication via IP network. Encapsulation wraps then unwrap. The encapsulation means the layer of TCP/IP or IP protocol should wrap and encapsulate the upper layer's data headers and add its own header footer with protocol information, then send lower layer again till encapsulated data is sent out to other networking device, finally unwrapping. Encapsulation process on the received data would be enforced at the destination. Second, data graph. UDP prioritizes time over reliability. User Datagram Protocol, or UDP, is a communication standard or exchanging data over the internet. UDP prioritizes speed over reliability using the interconnection process to send data packets to a destination. Due to its low latency, UDP is ideal for time-sensitive use cases like video streaming, voice over the internet protocol, or VoIP, video gaming, and domain name system DNS lookups. Function of gateway between two networks. A gateway is a hardware device that acts as gate between two networks. It may be router, firewall, server, or other that enables traffic to flow in and out of the network, while gateway protects the nodes within the network if it's also a node itself. TCP higher level function. The transmission control protocol TCP is a communication standard that enables application programs and computing devices to exchange message over the network. It is designed to send packets across the internet and ensure the successful delivery of data and messages over network. Segmentation is the process of carving up information into smaller pieces. The communication for transmission control protocols, or TCP, refers to what it calls data streams. Data streams really nothing more than a series of zeros and ones that represent information. The assembly. During a TCP transmission of the datagram between two devices, each packet is tagged with a sequence number by the sender. This sequence number is used to reassemble the packet back into data during transmission packets. Each packet may take a different path to the destination. Error detection. TCP is a reliable transportation protocol. TCP provides reliability using error control. So error control includes mechanism for detecting corrupted segment, lost segment, out of order segment, and duplicated segment. Error control also includes a mechanism for correcting errors after they are detected. IP handled datagram. The Internet Protocol, or IP, defines standard for several types of datagrams. The Internet layer is a datagram service provided by an IP. For example, UDP is run by datagram. Service on the Internet layer IP is an entirely connectionless, best effort, and reliable message delivery service. TCP or IP Internet protocols today. TCP was developed in the 1970s, adopted as protocol standards for ARPANET, the predecessor to the Internet, in 1983. Commonly known as TCP or IP, it is the set communication protocols used on the Internet and other similar networks. Physical topology. It refers to the way which a network is laid out physically. Physical topology refers to the interconnected structure of a local area network, or LAN. The method employed to connect the physical devices on the network with cables and the type cabling used all constitute the physical topology. Mesh. Communication is point to point. A mesh topology is a network setup where each computer a network device is interconnected with one another. This topology setup allows for most transmission to be distributed even if one of the connection goes down. It is a topology commonly used for wireless network. Next, bus signal shared with the backbone cable. A bus topology is a topology for a local area network or LAN in which all the nodes are connected to a single cable. The cable to which the nodes connect is called a backbone. If the backbone is broken, the entire segment fails. Stars. Signals are passing through the central devices. A star topology is a topology local area network LAN or a LAN in which all nodes are individually connected to a central connection point to point like a hub or a switch. Star takes more cable than e.g. a bus, but the benefit is if cable fails, only one node will be brought down. Ring. Signals are circulate within the network. A ring topology is a network configuration where device connection create a circular data path. Each network device is connected to two others like point on a circle. Together, devices in a ring topology refers to as ring network. Topology: mesh, bus, star, ring. Advantage: mesh advantage, point-to-point linker. Robust privacy or security. Disadvantage: expensive in cable, I/O connection, sheer bulk of wiring, and -1 in connection. Bus less expensive than mesh, ease of installation. Disadvantage: difficult reconnection, difficult to add station, limited number of stations. Backbone features backbone cable. Star point-to-point link, robust, less expensive than mesh. Disadvantage: using central device, feature hub. Ring point-to-point link, both sides only, easy install, configure. Disadvantage: undirectional in traffic of signal, feature repeater. And that's all. Thank you.